Now, within academic circles, there's much discussion on the virgin birth. So we're talking about Mary as perpetual virgin. We agree on that completely. And but then you'll have a number of scholars, Father, that will say, okay, well, look, we don't have any issue. We agree. Touchstone of orthodoxy, a mark of orthodoxy in the early church. Mary remained ever virgin, never had sexual relations with Saint Joseph. But then they'll say, okay, but are we required to believe that Mary retained her physical integrity during the birth? And as a Catholic, we would most definitely, we affirm that. We believe that. And I think the overwhelming amount of fathers would teach that. By the way, I just did a show and I highly recommend it. Father, I don't know if you've read it yet. It's a fantastic book by the Reverend Dr. Lawrence, a great book where he surveys the information on the massive amount of fathers that talk about Mary retaining that physical integrity through the birth. Would you agree with that? Or do you say, no, you know what, we don't really have much to say about that? Or would you say, no, look, the mind of the church has been very consistent from the beginning. The book of Isaiah is very clear. A virgin conceiving and bearing a child remains virgin. Integrity is not damaged. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is the same. The Eastern position is the same, that she remains virgin and pure in body. As I said, it's all about God, who is life, God who is not the corruption, is pure and stuff. There's no way his coming into her and would corrupt her or make her impure. He is the purity. So the whole process is completely there. No corruption, no damage to her or anything like that. So if you were to say otherwise, you would making God the author of corruption, the God the author of pain. Even she almost had a painless birth, so she was freed from the curse of Eve as such. So because of who she bore, and that's because she bore God in her womb, that there was no way that she was going to be damaged in any part of that process.
Yeah, and from what I've read a number of, particularly Father Unger's massive study on Genesis 3 and the woman. And from what I gather, I think the fathers are virtually unanimous on it being a childbirth that did not have pain. So I think you bring up a very, very good point there. In fact, I have not found any father, other than ecclesiastical writers that were not Orthodox, that maybe would have taught that. So that is a really good point you bring up there, Father.